When Netflix drops a new season of Love is Blind, fans quickly pick their favorite couples and start rooting for them to go all the way to the altar. Season 9 introduced us to a fresh cast of singles looking for love in a very unconventional way, meeting and falling for each other without ever seeing one another face to face until after an engagement. Among the many hopefuls this season, one pairing that caught a lot of attention was Madison Maidenberg and Joe Ferrucci. Their chemistry in the pods seemed genuine, emotional, and filled with honesty, making many viewers think they could be one of the success stories of the season. But as we've seen many times before on Love is Blind, things can look magical behind the walls, yet real life challenges often test even the strongest bonds. So the big question fans are asking now is, are Madison and Joe still together today? Let's dive into their story step by step. Madison, who is 26 at the time of filming, had already been on a long journey to find her forever person before walking into the pods. She was someone who genuinely wanted a serious relationship. In fact, she once admitted she went on about 40 first dates in just a year trying to meet the right person, but nothing clicked. That is exactly why she signed up for Love is Blind, hoping this experiment would help her find someone who loved her for who she is, not for appearances. Then entered Joe, a 27-year-old recruiter with a warm yet slightly quirky personality. Joe described himself as loyal, though he also carried an energy that was a mix of nervous and outgoing. This made him sometimes a little awkward but also fun and wild. Together, the two created a dynamic that felt refreshing and real, which quickly drew attention. The first time Madison and Joe talked in the pods, sparks flew. Madison works as a UX/UI designer, and she carried herself with openness and confidence that put Joe at ease. He was nervous at first, stumbling a bit, but he slowly began to open up to her in a way he hadn't with anyone else. Their conversations flowed naturally from light-hearted topics to deeper discussions about family, past relationships, and what they were really looking for in a life partner. What stood out most was how similar their values were, which created a strong emotional foundation between them. A major turning point in their connection was when Madison shared something very personal. She revealed that she has a degenerative eye disease that could one day cause her to lose her vision completely. Instead of being shocked or distancing himself, Joe responded with compassion, telling her he would be her guide if that day ever came. For Madison, this was a big moment of reassurance. It showed her that Joe wasn't just interested in surface-level romance. He was willing to stand by her side, even through challenges. With that, their bond deepened, and before long, they were engaged without ever seeing each other. Their reveal, when they met face to face for the first time, was both sweet and a little awkward. Joe admitted that he hadn't expected Madison to be curvy, and for a brief moment, it seemed like there was hesitation. But once he placed the ring on her finger and embraced her, the romantic energy returned. They looked like a couple ready to give this experiment a real chance. Fans were hopeful. Maybe this was one of those Love is Blind love stories that would stand the test of time. But as we know, the honeymoon phase of any relationship can fade quickly when real-world challenges pop up. Their trip to Mexico started off strong. They laughed, explored, and also discovered their physical chemistry. It looked like they were adjusting well to being together outside of the pods. However, things soon began to shift. During one of the group gatherings with the rest of the cast, Madison felt like Joe wasn't paying enough attention to her. She felt left out, like he was prioritizing other conversations over their bond. When she tried to bring it up to him, instead of engaging in the discussion, Joe brushed it off. That moment was a red flag for Madison. Instead of listening, Joe said he wanted to head back to their room and even told her not to follow, which was confusing and hurtful. To make things worse, he seemed intoxicated, which added to the tension. Later that evening, when Madison went to check on him, she found him disoriented, repeating the same questions over and over. Out of concern, she tried to wake him and see if he was okay, but instead of appreciating her worry, he grew annoyed. This pattern of miscommunication and disconnect seemed to become a theme between them as time went on. What looked like a solid bond in the pod started showing cracks in the real world. Eventually, their differences, both mental and physical, led to a breakup. They parted ways, realizing they weren't truly compatible outside of the unique love is blind setup. So to answer the burning question, no, Madison and Joe are not together anymore. They didn't make it to the altar, and from everything we can tell, they went their separate ways not long after filming wrapped. But what are they up to now? Let's take a look at where life has taken them individually. Madison, who had graduated from the University of Colorado with a degree in business administration in 2018, took a slightly unconventional career path. She tried different jobs, from being a web designer to an account manager and even a personal assistant, before finding her true calling in UX/UI design. Since 2021, she's been working as a UX/UI designer at Ministry Brands. Beyond her career, Madison is making a difference in a deeply personal way. She now serves as the president of the Foundation Fighting Blindness, using her platform to raise awareness about vision impairment and advocate for others living with similar conditions. Despite her eye disease, Madison has never let her diagnosis hold her back. She travels often, attends music festivals, and enjoys spending time with friends. In just the past couple of years, she's explored places like Cabo, Arizona, New York, Florida, and Utah, proving that she is determined to live her life fully. Joe's career path also shows his drive and flexibility. After graduating from Montana State University Billings, he interned with the U.S. Senate and then shifted into sales roles. From 2017 onwards, he worked in different industries, including real estate and energy, before landing in recruiting. He climbed the ladder at Cybercoders, eventually becoming an executive recruiter. Later, he moved to Denver, where he worked as an account executive before deciding to focus more on personal passions. Today, Joe Coe hosts a podcast called Table for One, which shines a spotlight on singles in Denver. He also enjoys photography and values spending time with his strong support system of family and friends. His social circle is a big part of his life, and he seems content exploring new opportunities while balancing work and hobbies. In many ways, both Madison and Joe are thriving individually. While they couldn't make their relationship last, their journey together still gave them lessons and personal growth. Love is Blind may not have given them lifelong partners, but it gave them a platform, new experiences, and for fans, an inside look at how difficult love can be even when two people seem perfectly matched at first. Fans often wonder if reality TV couples like Madison and Joe could ever rekindle their connection off screen. But as of now, there's no sign of reconciliation. Both are focusing on their careers, passions, and personal lives. Madison continues to empower others living with vision impairment, while Joe explores creative outlets like podcasting and photography. Their lives are on different paths, and that seems to be the best thing for both of them. In the end, Madison and Joe's journey reminds us that love is blind is an experiment that doesn't always guarantee success. Falling in love without seeing someone may remove certain superficial biases, but the reality of life together goes much deeper. Relationships require communication, compromise, and emotional connection in all situations, not just when things are easy. While Madison and Joe's story didn't end with a wedding, it gave fans an honest glimpse into how complex love can be. So, while they are no longer together, both Madison and Joe are carving out meaningful, fulfilling lives for themselves. They may not have found their forever partner in each other, but their stories continue to inspire fans who followed them closely throughout the season. And who knows, maybe their next chapters will bring them the love they've been searching for.